What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about a topic from one of the viewers. We're going to be discussing a good woman, and so you want to be a wife. It's going to be good. I asked you guys for suggestions, and today I'm going to be using one. So with no further ado, we're going to get ready to get it. But before we get into this video, I need y'all to do 3 quick things. I need you to smash that like button, leave a comment, and also share. You know, as always, that will be greatly appreciated. And for my YouTube fans, I need you guys to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So let's get it. Proverbs 31 and verse 10, it states, "A good woman is hard to find and worth far more than diamonds." A good woman is hard to find and worth far more than diamonds. See, I like to break things down. And it's important that you understand that this scripture defines finding a good woman as hard. The definition of hard said, done with a great deal of force or strength. See, this says to me that I can't just walk out the front door of my house and find a good woman. It's not that simple. Example, if there was 100 women lined up in front of me right now, it would be a blessing if just one was a good woman out of 100. See, the Bible describes a good woman as hard to find, meaning she's not out here advertising herself like a billboard on the highway trying to get the attention of oncoming traffic. You know, I don't have to look for a McDonald's or a Burger King. They got one of those on every corner. And their commercials are always on television. Those restaurants are easy to find. But when you desire a 5-star cuisine, you have to seek those restaurants out. You know, the type of restaurant that they don't even have the prices on the menu, and they don't even have to advertise because they are reserved for the elite. You know what I mean? They're exclusive. You see, if you're out here advertising yourself, or you're very accessible, i.e. Facebook or social media period, always putting yourself out there, then that's the equivalent of being McDonald's or Burger King. McDonald's has a slogan, over 1 billion customers served. You see, McDonald's panders to anyone and everyone, and it doesn't really matter about the quality of a person as long as they get a quantity in. A good woman is not McDonald's. And not only is she hard to find, but she deserves to be found. This verse also describes the woman as worth more than diamonds. In the King James Version, it says, to find this good woman, it's as rare as finding a ruby. You see, you can find a diamond anywhere. They come a dime a dozen. That's why when men get married, they will run and buy the most extravagant diamond that they can afford. Because you can go into any jewelry store and find a diamond that's not rare. But you can't just go into a jewelry store and find a ruby, because it is rare. Just like finding a good woman. You see, we live in a complicated age where women want to be defined as good, yet they are advertising themselves and putting themselves on the market like a fast food restaurant. You see, when I go to a fast food restaurant, I'm there to get in and get out. That's what it's there for. The convenience, the quickness, the availability to get what you want with as little time spent as possible. And also, when I go to McDonald's, I don't leave a tip. I don't feel like they've done anything worthy of anything extra other than what they got for what I wanted. You see, when a person chooses fine dining over fast food, they're going because of the quality of the service, and they're going for the vibe and the experience. Sure, fast food is good for an immediate need, but I ain't trying to eat fast food for every day of my life. Message. So as a woman, why would I market myself as an off-brand version? There are some out there that say off-brand and cost cutter is just as good as the most expensive name brand products out there. But I'm going to tell y'all like my father told me, if the off-brand was just as good as the name brand, then there would be no name brand. That's just an excuse people give when they can't afford the name brands. Now, my original plan was to go step by step through Proverbs 31 and 10 through 31. But then I remembered the vision of my platform is not to go line by line, precept by precept, but rather to force the viewer to want to take a more in-depth view into the word for themselves. So I started with Proverbs 10 and 31 to say this, that everybody's not built to be a wife. Everybody's not wife material. And there are certain criteria that you got to meet to even consider being somebody's wife. Ask yourself a question. Do you even want to be a wife? Do you have what it takes to fulfill those obligations? The Bible does state that when a man findeth a wife, he findeth a good thing. But do you know why it says that? It says that for the exact reason that I stated when I opened up this whole video. Because it's hard to find a wife. You can find a woman anywhere. You can find a woman while you're walking outside to check your mailbox. But a wife is a woman that cares enough about herself to fulfill the obligations that can be found in Proverbs chapter 31, verses 10 through 31. You see, if I was a good woman, I would be trying to make it my business to set myself apart from all the other fast food restaurants. Sure, it may mean that I don't have a social media presence. And yes, it may mean you have to give up all the likes on your pictures and the comments and the inboxes. But sometimes you got to do something that you never done to get something that you never had. You can't mix vinegar and water, because even though there are both clear substances, one has a bitter taste and one has a clear and refreshing taste. See, when you're out here doing the same thing as all the other females, it makes it hard to see which one is water and which one is vinegar. See, it's a lot of women out here trying to refresh a man's thirst with a glass full of vinegar. And the problem is, women are in love with the idea of being married, of being kept, but they have no interest in exuding the qualities that can be found in Proverbs 31 and 10. If we're being honest, most women aren't in love with being married. They are in love with the idea of marriage, with the image of marriage, with the concept of marriage. If truth be told, most women want a man, but they also want to be the man. But what I don't think a woman really takes into serious consideration is that each role comes with its own set of responsibilities and obligations. See, many times when we're being selfish or thinking selfish, we're only thinking of the things that we would have to give up or sacrifice in order to be in those positions. See, sometimes we like the ideas and the benefits that come along with having a job, but when it comes down to putting in the actual work it takes to hold the position of that job, we can't get with it. And we all know that everybody's not meant to be gainfully employed. There are those that are meant to be entrepreneurs. See, when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have to worry about the constraints and restraints that an employee has to deal with. See, an employee has to follow certain guidelines in order to keep their employment. So if you're a woman who's not willing to put in the work that it clearly states in Proverbs 31:10 through 31, then it might be best that you work for yourself. Then you don't have to worry about any of these things. But you can't have your cake and eat it too.